All right, now Israel's military, is saying today at least 80 rockets flew across their border, fired from Gaza. Each time, warning sirens blared to warn people to take cover.
Happened when a CNN field team was preparing to go live for a report, and those warning sirens went off.
We're going to have to move, guys. We're going to have to move. We'll stay up live with the camera rolling, but we got to go. The siren's gone off. All right, so right now the siren's going off here near Zakim, and we need to take cover. Going around this way.
To be clear, that was not a false alarm. Sarah Seidner and her camera crew saw the smoke and damage where those rockets hit a village very near to where they were reporting. Sarah's joining us now live from Ashkelon, just across the border from Gaza, inside Israel, a little further away from where those alarms went off, hopefully a safer distance. Sarah, how often are you doing that, taking cover? You know, we've heard a lot about these missiles going off every day. We know that some of them, go far away from residential areas. But how often have they come close to where you are and close to where other Israelis are going to have to flee from them and take cover?
Today's been a little different than some of the other days. These rockets are spread out throughout southern Israel, and then the alarms and the sirens go off. What you were hearing there, you're not hearing the sound of a screaming siren. You're hearing, in Hebrew, red alert, and depends on where you are. But we certainly saw the result of where it looked like it may have been a rocket and a mortar fall as well. Looked like it fell somewhere near the beach, and there is a military installation in that area. We saw the installation there with the soldiers standing around, but they've become so used to this, to be honest, is that they were quite calm during the first time that we saw a mortar fall. Nobody running and scrambling. These are soldiers that are really close to the border. They're about 100 to 200 meters from Gaza, and they have sort of become quite used to this. On the other hand, the residents where we were very much closer to Ashkelon, but still there on the border, say that, their children are scared, they are scared, they're scared to bring their kids out to play during this 4-week period. Very hard on the people here, but they also recognize how horrible it's been for the Palestinians. This particular mother we spoke to talked a lot about that, how she's a mother, and it's also hard for her to see other mothers being killed and their children also being killed on the other side.
And Sarah, to you, just first from all of us here, fantastic reporting on the ground, and just seeing that shows our viewers what you guys are going through just to get the news out. A question on how the State Department is responding to this strike that has killed at least 9 people right near that school in Gaza being used as a UN shelter. Part of what the State Department said in their statement is, quote, Israel must do more to meet its own standards and avoid civilian casualties. We have seen John Kerry, President Obama, standing firmly behind Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu in this. And this language, this very blunt language coming out from the State Department, I'm wondering if you're getting any reaction on the ground there from Israelis to that.
Absolutely. One of the things that you hear the Israeli military saying, and in this particular case, is that there was some firing by militants in Gaza near the school, but also you hear from them that they are investigating this particular case, saying that they were actually looking to take out 3 Islamic Jihad militants who were on a motorcycle in the vicinity, and they are looking into the consequences of that firing. And of course, we're hearing from the UN and the U.S. calling it disgraceful because there were 3,000 people inside of that UN-run school, which has been turned into a shelter. Many of these people running for their lives also because their homes have been crushed, and there have been airstrikes throughout the day. There were even some this evening that we've been hearing about in the last 30 minutes or so. A house struck also today, but Israel saying that they are constantly trying to avoid civilians, though there have been several schools in and around the schools have been struck, and the schools themselves have been struck, and that has been condemned by the UN and the U.S., and this time very, very strongly. About 10 people killed, according to the health ministry, around that school vicinity, 30 or so people injured.